All right, welcome everyone. I am still Robin from Western Mass, and I have suffered with very resilient mites, Morgellons, Columbola, and I suffered alone for 3.5 years before I went to the pastors in my church and asked them for prayer, and they prayed for creative solutions, and the next day I found Richard's book. And then I found the Sunday Call. I read the book over and over. I struggled with the diet initially, but eventually it kicked in. I went on medication. I did a lot to clean my environment, and I got clear. Then this past winter I had opened some Christmas ornaments that I hadn't disinfected. They'd been in bags for over 3 years, and my house got reinfested with all of the things I had been dealing with. And then I got sick with COVID and was in bed for 3 months, so I couldn't do anything about it. So I'm at the tail end of my second infection with this stuff, and I am doing so well, and I'm seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, and it's all because of these calls, Richard's protocols, and his book, and the support we get here. So I am so grateful. I'm so grateful for Richard. He just recently released the 10th edition of his book, and that's because, as you know, as I'm sure most of you know, doctors know very little about Morgellons or other skin parasites. They call it delusional parasitosis. They don't know how to treat it, and so we've been kind of left on our own to figure it out. And Richard has us as his research team, and he's done a ton of research, and the book is just filled with it's a wonderful resource. Even if you don't read it like a novel, you read it like a reference book, and you mark the places. If you have the hard copy, I have my books. I have 3 editions now, and they're all filled with Post-its. And you know, the diet is the foundation, and then bathing and the environment. But Richard he created all of this because he went through it and he found solutions, and he's here because of that, and to share that and give everyone who is on this call hope and encouragement and actual solutions that have gave him his life back, and many other people as well, myself included, even though I'm on the second round right now. So I would like to introduce you guys to Richard Kuhns, author of How to Get Your Life Back from Morgellons and Other Skin Parasites. Take it away.
Thank you, Robin. Welcome, everybody, to the Morgellons event of the week. This is recorded, available on YouTube, on our channel. This is November 1st, 2020, and it's the event of the week in terms of Morgellons. Where else can you go to actually tune in and talk to people live, get some answers, get some support, and get your life back? This is it. So, Robin, what's the topic of the week? You had suggested we look at a couple of things.
Right. Well, I think that it's so easy to mess up on the diet, and it's so easy to underestimate how important dealing with the environment is.
But didn't we talk about the diet just only 2 weeks ago?
We did. But, you know, as one of your coaches, I talk to people almost daily, and I think it just takes a long time for all of the aspects of the diet to really sink in. I recently talked to someone who said, I've been perfect on the diet for months, and it turns out they were using the wrong stevia that was filled with sugar. So,
wow.
You know, I know. Or remember the woman in a recent call who discovered there's sugar in her table salt.
Right.
I mean, so I just think, yeah, really, why would they even do that? It's like that's a real conspiracy. But so I just thought, I think we need to re-emphasize that stuff and encourage people to read labels and to know that you're going to attack your environment. They're going to fight back, and it's not going to be a one-time, two-time, 20-time thing. Everything takes time, and it's going to take months if you're lucky. So, yeah.
And what's the third thing? Did you say
thing,
something about creativity?
Oh, yes. Thanks for reminding me. Yeah, and I love that about you and your book. So, when we are in flight or fear mode, flight or fight mode, our intelligence goes down and our creativity goes out the window. I mean, I constantly have things happen, and I have to take deep breaths and say, I will not panic. I will not panic. I am not going to panic. And then I start thinking of solutions. But if I don't do that, I'm just like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, like a chicken without its head, So it's so important.
How many people do you think we've lost over the years because they get into this fight, this kind of thinking? Nothing works for me. Oh, I'm a dum-dum. Woe is me. My life is over. How many people do you think we've lost because they give in to that kind of thinking?
Yes, you're right. A lot of people, and it makes me very sad because it doesn't have to be that way. And even, I mean, everything that I have done to get my life back and get well is founded in creativity. And you just got to take a chance, be creative, try things, mix it up a little bit. I mean, if one thing doesn't work in the book, it has levels of, okay, take this to the next level. And you can do your own research and find something that works that you can share with us. So, I mean, it's really important. And it also is a way to keep encouraging yourself. As long as you're being creative, there's a spark of hopefulness that comes through.
Thank you. A lady, well, we have two people who I believe would like to share today. The diet, many people who are either vegan or vegetarian often complain that the diet is difficult to adapt to, and I'm not an expert at that, and I've often said, well, sometimes you've got to make a choice. Maybe let go of being vegan for a period of time and then come back to it, or being vegetarian, because the parasites really don't care whether what your beliefs are or what you want your diet to be about. But fortunately, we have a lady, her name is Jill, and I believe she's on the call today. And I've asked her to share. In fact, perhaps she could be our vegan coach from now on. So, Jill, are you on the line? Can you open up the line to Jill, Chris?
Richard, I don't see Jill. I see Caroline.
You don't see the number for Jill? Okay, she is selling her home, and sometimes she gets last-minute people who want to come. Caroline wrote back after I sent out the email about diet being very important, and she had several comments to make, and I like to have her share what she wrote to me and her experience in what she's going through. So, Caroline, are you there?
Caroline, you can talk. I unmuted you. The last four number is 7788. Caroline? Can you hear me? I unmuted her line, but I don't know whether she's there on the call.
Okay. Well, perhaps she can alert you somehow that she's available. But it was kind of funny what she wrote, in that how important the diet really is and has been for her. Let me see if I can find her email.
I have located Jill now. I opened her.
Okay, great.
I'm here.
Okay, Jill, take it away. Hello? I heard.
Hello?
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead, Jill.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Hi, everybody. I'm Jill,
Hi.
and thank you for the opportunity, Richard.
Glad to have you. We're looking for some direction for many of the vegans and vegetarians, how you can adapt the diet.
Well, I hope I can help. Initially, I was really overwhelmed when I got my protocol back and saw all of the meat. I mean, there was meat everywhere, and it was every meat I could imagine was there. And that was, of course, the first thing I saw, and it went on and on. And I thought, uh-oh, I got very nervous. And then I had to stop myself. I said, you know, I've got to, instead of thinking what I cannot eat, I have to start thinking about what I can eat. Because I knew that if I didn't, I was in big trouble. And, you know, because I just believe everything that you have taught us, and I have a lot of respect for you, Richard. And so I knew that the diet was going to be extremely important. Let's see. You know, I was desperate, and I was fighting multiple parasites for over a year, and I was all by myself. And, well, I have my husband, but it's not the same because he doesn't have an infestation problem. They don't like him, thankfully, but, you know, I'm jealous, needless to say.
I wish I had that problem myself.
Yeah. So over a year I was doing this by myself, and, you know, the medical community here is just horrible, like most places. You know, one of the worst things that ever happened to me was after I shared my situation about the parasites in this doctor's office, I was speaking to the PA. He starts shaking his head. No, right? And then before I knew it, he was standing up and taking me by the arm and showing me the door. And I thought, oh my God, nothing like this has ever happened to me. It was so humiliating. But, you know, what are you going to do? You just keep going. So, anyway, I've been listening to these calls. It's about 10 months now, I think. And it was about 8 months ago when I got the protocol. And I think it took me maybe another few weeks or a month to get the nerve to try the diet. I was extremely nervous. I didn't know if I could make it work because I'll tell you the one thing I was most afraid of is that I couldn't eat sugar. Because I'm not just a vegan, I was a sugar addict as well. And that's just awful. I mean, you know what it does to your body. I don't need to tell everybody. But I knew that I had to make it work for myself. Otherwise, I was doomed. And thankfully, Richard has shared all of his experience.
Are you listening to this?
Excuse me?
Sorry. I didn't know if somebody was asking me something. Anyway, I just wanted to point out that it's terrific that Richard could take all of his suffering and turn it around to help others, because then the suffering is not in vain. It had purpose.
That's
so
right.
That's, you know, I guess there's a reason for everything, isn't there?
Mm-hmm.
And because if Richard didn't go through this, where would we be? So,
right.
Yeah, it's a scary thought. I had to break a couple of vegan rules to make the diet work for myself. And it's basically, I needed to have butter. I couldn't just exist with rice bran oil. So I used the butter. You know, before that I was using vegan butter, and the cow's milk. I drink cow's milk. It's organic and lactose free, like Richard suggests, and it doesn't give me any trouble at all. So, I mean, I just had to accept that if I was going to make it comfortable for myself, then I had to bend a little bit somewhere. But true vegans and vegetarians, it's, you know, and I don't think poorly of people that are not vegan or vegetarian. I'm not like that. It's, you know, live and let live as far as I'm concerned. But we are, most of us are animal lovers, and we just don't want to take part in that. And it's not easy all the time, but it's what we choose, and it works for us. When I was on stage 1, I had to keep it really simple, really basic. And my main dish was organic brown rice. I prefer to have it sprouted. I believe that the protein content is better in the sprouted. It also tastes better. And butter, lots of butter and garlic salt, and organic brown rice, rice cakes. And I also found something called Ancient Grain Organic Spelt Matzo crackers.
Yeah, I eat those.
Well, these are really good with butter.
I love that.
Yeah, they're really good. So what I do is, you know, my husband, I've spoiled him over the years. I usually cook for him every night. Not every night, but I usually cook for him. And because our dogs refuse to eat any more canned food, I actually have to cook for the dogs. This doesn't leave a lot of time for me. So I keep things as simple as I can, and I'll put brown rice. I put chopped vegetables in the brown rice and beans, and I mean, it's like a brown rice casserole, you know. But fortunately, after all these months, I still love it. And
did you say beans? Did you say beans?
Beans, yeah. Beans.
Do you soak them overnight? Because beans are generally not on stage 1.
Well, I didn't have them initially. It was a couple months in.
Okay.
A couple months in. I was really strict in the beginning. I was afraid to eat anything.
Right.
You know, and it worked well. It worked fast.
What did you do for protein?
Well, you know, there's more protein in brown rice than people think.
Okay.
Right.
And it, you know, I did not, you know, I couldn't eat cheese because I have fungus. So
right.
That was out. And, you know, I believe there's protein in the milk. And I was fine. I wasn't suffering in any way. But I can't think of all the grain. Oh, pasta. There's also protein in the pasta, the organic pasta. that I buy. And
rice pasta?
What? Where do you buy?
Brown
Where do you
rice
get?
pasta?
Yeah.
Organic brown rice pasta, Pad Thai organic brown rice pasta, which is really good. And I found pasta made of chickpeas and pasta made from brown rice and quinoa. And another pasta was made from red lentils.
From what?
Red lentils.
Okay.
So none of those are on stage 1, though, but they've been fine for you after, huh?
I'm sorry, I can't hear you, Robin.
I'm sorry, I said the lentils, the quinoa, and the chickpeas are not on stage 1, but you did okay as you added them in.
I didn't eat these right in the beginning because I was afraid. I was desperate.
Right.
I needed to make this work. So, I mean, mostly I ate brown rice and vegetables to begin with.
Yeah.
And my crackers.
Yeah.
But, the thing with me is, over the years, what I do is I find something I like, and I eat it for a long time. And it can be the same thing. It can go on for days or weeks or months. So, fortunately, that worked for me. I didn't get sick of it, and I was able to, stay healthy. It wasn't a problem. Took my vitamins and all of my supplements that Richard told me to get.
Well, great. So the key is really the brown rice, and for protein.
Yeah, there's more protein in brown rice than you think.
Okay.
I meant to look it up exactly. I meant to look it up so I'd have that ready, and I didn't. Sorry.
That's okay.
That's fine.
But it hasn't. So when I was approaching stage 2, I added, and I love my raw pumpkin seeds and raw sunflower seeds.
Me too.
So, slowly.
Right.
A few months ago, I started to add that, and that went just fine. Now that's incorporated easily.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't even react to almond butter that I have.
Wow.
Oh, that's rare. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So.
Maybe it's because my body was used to all these things. I really don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't.
Well, the diet is kind of. I mean, there are idiosyncrasies within the diet that everybody. That's why I suggest keeping a diary. And
I know.
The diary can be very important because when you get into that, nothing is working for me. Oh my God! Then you stop. You take a few deep breaths. You go back and look at your diary and see where you were a month ago and where you are today. And then you can also look a little more closely as to what you've been actually eating and what you're reacting to and not reacting to. So it's important to be your own investigator.
Right.
That's right.
I've been told, I'm not sure, but I welcome others to collaborate with this and confirm it. And that is that if you do soak your beans overnight, that they are okay on stage 1. But I won't go out on a limb and say that they are. I just haven't had enough feedback to verify that. But try it out, somebody. Let me know. I can't because I can eat everything now.
Right.
Well, you don't have to brag about it.
Yeah, I know.
It's a goal. It's a goal.
So, okay. Thank you very much, Jill, for sharing. Thank you.
Sure.
We have Caroline on the phone.
Oh, Caroline, you're here. Yes. Would you share what you wrote me after you read the update about diet?
Well, I think the word diet is a little harsh. To me, it always leaves a bitter taste in my mouth.
Oh, I hate that word.
And I myself, at first when I found you, I thought, oh, I don't need a diet. I just need somebody to show me how to clean these things out of my house.
I need help. That's what I need, not a diet, right?
Right. So that was my experience with it. Of course, it didn't work until I actually did it, and I think I just consumed so much sugar. And I goofed up at first. I didn't read that it would have to be spelt bread. I actually ate bread. I lived on nothing but bread and real butter and egg for 5-6 weeks, really. And my daughter said, well, there's yeast in bread. How can you eat that?
But it sugar.
Yeah.
I think it was all the sugar that I was consuming.
Unknowingly.
Right.
Unknowingly. Well, I knew a little. I was a popaholic, big time, and you consume a lot of sugar with that. So maybe we could come up with a different name for that.
Eating plan, like you suggested. I think I call it that in the book. I just never really remember to mention it when we talk about the diet. In fact, we rarely talk about the diet. If you go back for a year and a half, even though it's the crux of the program, I think we've only talked about it maybe 8 or 10 times out of a year and a half. I mean, we get so into the cofactors and talking about fungus and talking about EMF and all the other factors. They're all very important, but the crux of this program is this diet. Yeah.
Right.
I liked what you wrote in. You said you've been attending the phone meetings for a while now, and you'll almost have to chuckle because when somebody shares or asks something, the first question I say is, are you on the diet? And the answer almost every time is no, in different variations, like I just started, or I'm trying, but, and so on. I mean, I love it.
Right.
Funny but sad at the same time. And the diet, eating plan. Do you care
lifestyle change.
Yes, lifestyle. Do you care to share about your situation at home, Caroline, or?
Maybe next time.
Okay. Thank you. Well, thank you for sharing.
Yeah, thanks for sharing.
For being there for us.
Joanne from Washington wants to ask a question to Jill.
Great. Joanne?
My question for Jill is, I know we talked about the beans and you suggested maybe trying the soaking, but I wanted to ask Jill what beans she did try, and then when she was done with trying beans, did she try some other things besides the pumpkin seeds and stuff, anything else, and also how is she doing now?
Jill, you there? Jill? Is she still there, Chris?
Yes, Jill, your line is open. You can talk.
Wait a minute. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, that's weird because it says on my phone that I'm muted. Okay. What was the question you asked about the beans? I'm sorry.
Oh, okay, so I had probably about 3 questions. One of them was, what beans did you eat that worked for you after a couple months? And then my other question is some other foods that might have worked for you. And then my third question is, how are you doing now with your parasite problem?
It's, I have very little reaction. Usually when I have reactions, it's because I'm applying something on my skin that they don't like. Or I'm in the shower and they don't like the hot water. So that's good. But as far as my hair goes, I'm still struggling with my hair, with the mites. But as far as the beans go, my favorite are northern and chickpeas. Or garbanzo beans, whatever you call them. And you can eat any of them. I've had, almost all of them, lentils and cannelli. And let's see, what else do I have in there? Pinto. I haven't had any reaction to any beans.
Amazing. Mm-hmm.
That is amazing.
Also, if I could interrupt for a second, a cup of cooked long grain brown rice gives 5.54 grams of protein.
And
All
that's
right.
probably one serving, right?
Right.
Well,
Well,
I
and
eat more
you might be
than
eating
one
more
serving.
than that. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
And I eat it, like 3 times a day. Actually, more like 4 times a day. What I do, instead of eating like a couple of big meals, I'll eat 4 or 5 times when, different things.
Right.
Switch it up.
Great, thank you. Chris,
Thank
does anybody else have a question for Jill?
No, not yet.
Okay.
I do have a couple of questions, just generic questions that have been texted to me.
Great.
One is from Teresa. She wants to know if white vinegar is more effective than apple cider vinegar to put directly on your skin for fungus, and what would be the ratio, if it would be 100% or 50%, and also, I'm not sure what this is. She said she read that CV kills columbola on contact. I don't know what CV is, and she hasn't responded to my question. But if you know what it is, then could comment on it. So that's 2 questions.
Okay. Let's see. First of all, for some reason or other, the apple cider vinegar is what works with skin fungus. I have no idea how effective white vinegar is. White vinegar is made from something else. And I just went to Google to see what it's made from. And it's some kind of distilled alcohol it's sometimes made from. But and before, I guess, we go on, I should do the FDA thing before I forget it. And that is, the FDA requires me to inform everybody who is on the call or watching the call on YouTube that I am not, Robin is not, none of my coaches are medical doctors, and that before you start this King diet or accept any of my recommendations or any recommendations given to you by any of my coaches, that you are to thoroughly discuss them with your medical doctor to make sure they do not interfere with any health problems you're presently experiencing. The AMA and FDA also require us to say that we are not here to cure. Our purpose is not to cure, to treat, or mitigate any skin disease or any disease whatsoever. Our purpose is to educate you how to clean them out of your environment, clean them out of your skin, clean them out of your body, and through targeted supplements, build health and immune functioning. So that's what we're here for.
One thing, the white vinegar could be used as a disinfectant in the environment, though, right?
Yes, definitely. You don't want to use apple cider vinegar as a disinfectant, but you would want to use white vinegar as a disinfectant. Vinegar can be made from alcohol, wine, cider, beer, but it's grain alcohol that gives distilled vinegar its neutral profile. So it's best from grain alcohol that you don't want to drink anyway.
Right. But what if you're going to use apple cider vinegar on your skin? Would you spray it 100% and rub it on, or?
You have to experiment. If you are dealing with skin fungus and you have the red and burning sensations that skin fungus produces, when you apply this apple cider vinegar, it will burn like crazy. And so you may want to only use 50% or 25% in the beginning and then increase it. When you have no skin fungus, no burning on your skin, you can apply it to your normal skin. You feel nothing. So then you know that you've cleared it up. But you still may want to continue because those spores can linger on sometimes.
Right, and I don't know what CV is, so
isn't that something to do with the marijuana thing? You know, I don't really know. I've heard people talk about it, but in terms of parasites, I haven't actually heard of anybody reporting any benefit from using CV oil.
Oh, not B, CV as in Victor.
CB as in boy, right?
No, V as in Victor.
V as in Victor, CV.
Unless it was a typo when they texted me.
Well, I don't know. I don't know enough to talk about the subject, so.
Right, right.
I hate to be ignorant, but I am on that one. Any other questions there?
There was, I don't know if you want to get into this now, but one person has texted, how can I make my family understand me?
Wow, I know. That was a biggie.
Yeah,
and,
it is.
That's where it may be beneficial to take advantage of our buddy system, because many of us are in the same situation where our family treats us like the damn doctor does and tries to usher us out the door, you know, instead of understanding us. They go with us to our doctors and hear the doctor say you're delusional or you have agoraphobia, not agoraphobia, acrophobia, and they believe them, and so they think it's in our heads. That's where the doctors and their iatrogenic effect do a very big disservice to us by labeling us as delusional, rather than admitting, hey, I don't know what's going on. I don't know, you know, that God forbid they admit they don't know what's going on or they don't know. So it's a lot easier for them to label. The end result is it tears families apart. Tears families apart.
But you can, in your book, you have resources in a chapter about things you can show your doctor that you could also show your family. And in your blog, you have links to NIH papers and things that prove that, you know, it's not delusional. I gave my family your book to read, and it totally changed their attitude towards me. They wanted me to go to neurologists and psychologists and psychiatrists, and they read the book and they just started being supportive. It was like night and day.
Yeah,
you know.
I've been told that the book has saved a marriage or two along the way, but again, I'm a layperson. I don't have MD after my name, and that's where you may want to go to Amazon and look up Morgellons books. And you'll see the first one popping up is Dr. Savely. She has been in the medical profession or the medical field for at least about 25 years, working with Morgellons people. She's written a book about it. She doesn't go off a deep end talking about mites and columbella and fungus and skin fungus, because this, you know, I don't know if she doesn't know about it, but her goal in writing this book is to address the medical community, to let them know that there is a disease called Morgellons, to legitimize it. That's her goal. And that's a good book for anybody to read, to understand from a medical point of view that it is real. So, okay, show them my book, then show them Dr. Savely's book, and hopefully they'll read one of them and wake up and be supportive.
Right.
And bless their lucky stars that they are not impacted like you are.
Right.
You know, I was thinking the other day that I had chronic Lyme disease, and I guess it's a good thing I had it, because without it, I wouldn't know about glutathione, and I wouldn't take it for the rest of my life. You know, it's amazing, some of these things, and I'm sure that by continuing with glutathione, I'm going to live a lot longer and be a lot healthier than I'd be dead by now, to tell you the truth. Lyme disease would have just killed me.
Right, right.
Anyone else have a question that you like that has come in to Chris, that you've texted to Chris or called Chris with, or Robin? Anyone
I
like
don't
to
have any
share?
others.
Richard, everybody is kind of muted.
But nobody's texting your number. What is your number again?
It's 732-272-7952. 732-272-7952.
So please text him or call him and inform him that you'd like to share or ask a question. This is a new format. I hope it doesn't cut that. These meetings usually go about 2 hours, maybe 3.
I have another question from Beth. It's a really good one. She wants to know, she's on stage 3 of the diet. She's doing really well. Yeah, yay, Beth.
Hey.
And she's still spraying every day with the electrostatic sprayer. She wants to know how she can start dialing back and if she should ever stop or how that works. I mean, I could say the first thing you want to dial back is doing laundry every day, and you'll be able to tell, because so you start doing it every other day, and then you go to doing it every 3 days, and eventually you're doing laundry once a week, and it's not a problem. You know?
And if you put in the antimicrobial, that should boost it, boost your diminishing laundry well too.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. And
So,
I would think it would be the same with the electrostatic sprayer. You could start spraying every other day and then every 3 days and see if activity comes back, you know.
Oh, that reminds me, we should have electrostatic sprayers in stock this week, available to have shipped out. The only bad news is they're going to be about $100 more than they were. We do have one on the store that's about $1,400, but the ones that one puts a double charge on the mist, whereas the regular one, and I don't know if it's that much of a big difference between a regular charge and a double charge, so we should have them back in stock this week. You just get braver every day, experimenting with something different. Again, the big trap, and I've said this many times, is when you try a food that has been off of stage 2 and now you're on stage 3, you want to just try it once a week or once every 2 weeks. You don't want to do that same food every day like I did with watermelon. Like right now we have the pumpkin season, so you can go crazy having pumpkin pie every day. You'll be fine for a day or 2, but if you do it, say 4 or 5 days, it's going to be a problem. It could be a problem for me even, doing it 4 or 5 days. I don't know. I just don't abuse my freedom.
Right. I have another question from Andrea, and she said she's mostly eating brown rice and veggies, but she's still having problems. I asked her what kind of problems. She hasn't texted back yet, but she wants to know the difference in use between Restore and Agro Relief, and which works better for what. Well,
Restore is a liquid, and it's a formulation of ground-based minerals to, it's kind of like a pun, to restore your good gut bacteria, your good gut biome. Now, the Agro Relief are enzymes that are targeted to break up gluten, anything that might be have gluten in it, or anything with vegetables to break them up. So they're two different things. The one is a digestive enzyme, and the other one is to restore good gut bacteria. Anyone else text in a question?
How much antimicrobial do you put in the wash cycle?
The 4 ounces of the ready-to-use which is basically what everybody is getting now. This week we hopefully will have the concentrate, but 4 ounces of the ready-to-use for every 12 pounds of dry laundry. Now, this is a one-time treatment. If you want to do it weekly, then you might put in 3/4 of an ounce every week in your laundry. It's not necessary, but you may not necessarily have all of the laundry that you want to treat one time, so sometimes you may have other articles pop up that haven't been treated. Any other questions?
That's all I have so far.
Chris, nobody is texting you or calling you?
Not yet.
Gosh, we went out and got this phone just so they could do that. Please give Chris a call. He's lonely.
I have a question.
Yes.
Yes.
I get so frustrated. My whole family are carriers. I feel like I make headway as far as cleaning at home, and as soon as somebody comes in the house, I itch like crazy. And I feel like I can't disown my whole family. What do I do in a case like that?
Wow. You got any suggestions, Robin?
Are
I
these
can't just run
family?
away.
Are they family that live with you, or are you talking about visiting?
No, immediate family that lived with me.
So what I would suggest is, first of all, make sure you do their laundry just like you do your laundry with Richard's laundry enzyme and the microbial cleaner, that you clean their rooms just like you are going to clean the rest of your environment, and that you ask them at least one time or once a week to shower with the Nature's Gift Debriding Soap. And there's bar soap that's Nature's Gift. It's really pleasing to use, and that will help minimize their exposure to you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, our problem is that we built a big pole barn. That whole pole barn is infested. I can't even go near it. My sons live in a camper out back. I can't go near it. I feel like the outsider. I feel like I'm...
Well, I mean, if you give them, like Richard's book or Dr. Savely's book, and then enlist their help, people can be carriers without being infested, but they affect other people. And if they reach a point where they can understand that, then you can, like I have housemates and they each have their own spray bottle of enzyme cleaner and disinfectant, and they spray their rooms every day. They swiffer their floors with clove oil every day. And they thought I was crazy at first, but they've come around and they're really helpful. So
when you go outside and are you being attacked with columbella from the ground or from something airborne?
Both.
What?
I think both.
You think both? You feel
I think I have
your upper
two
body.
different mites.
You feel them attacking your upper body as well when you go outside? When you go to near that pole barn?
Yes. And then one of my big problems is I know we had one really bad something in here. We had sewer backup in the house for about 6 months. And so I washed all that in the laundry. I could not get it out. I soaked it in 6 different tubs before I washed it in different stuff, and the water came out so dirty and nasty and stinky every time. I almost threw everything away. My son decided that stuff is too nice to throw away, so he kept it for a while. And I couldn't deal with it anymore. And I told him that he's not allowed in the house. I can't do it if you don't get rid of this stuff. And that did help for a while.
There are ways to do laundry. I mean, there's stuff to put in the laundry that will kill things, not regular soaking and regular soap. And there's protocols in the book that will clean the laundry, but then afterwards you have to put it in like Ziploc bags or something airtight so that it doesn't get reinfested.
Right.
Well, if you're being attacked from Columbella outside, I've mentioned it before, the best thing, and I've had to do it even at my place where I live. I got an acre and a half, and would have to wear riding boots that come up about 18 inches, and that would keep me from being attacked outside. But if it's airborne from mites, I mean, there are actually times where, and stories where they've had to burn barns down because they were so infested with the Columbella.
Right.
And the organisms. So it can be serious. My wife doesn't agree. She thinks I have parasites because I take too many vitamins.
God. Sorry. Oh my goodness! Wow.
But so
wow.
she was a carrier. But bottom line is, I did exactly what you did, Robin. And that is, I controlled the laundry. I disinfected her laundry and my laundry, and I had her take a bath with the Nature's Gift in our jacuzzi, and only took one time. So I immediately controlled all of her laundry and had her take a bath, and that was it. She was no longer a carrier. I wish all situations were that easy, but they're not, unfortunately. But that's a model situation.
Right. Right.
The interesting thing was skin fungus affected me, but it never affected her. I mean, it doesn't make sense, but that doesn't affect everybody.
I just wanted to add something, Richard. There is a spray called AllerSearch that could get rid of those things that she's allergic to if they would spray themselves daily. That would help her.
Well, email that to me, and I'll be glad to take a look at it and pass it along. Okay?
Sure. No problem.
All right, thank you.
That would be great. Thank you.
Anyone else like to share or ask a question?
I have a question.
Yes.
Lynn from California says, what advice about fingernail fungus?
Finger baths. Use a bowl, put in about a quarter cup or half a cap of Nature's Gift, nice warm water, and maybe a quarter cup or half a cup of apple cider vinegar, and go for it at least 25, 40 minutes. Do it a couple times a day if practical. It should make a big difference.
Thank you. Am I muted?
What?
I've been talking away. Nobody answer me.
We hear you now.
You hear me now?
Yes.
Oh, great. I've been talking away. I didn't think nobody could hear me.
What's your question?
Oh, what do you use on your hair?
Okay, hair. Get a paper and a pencil, or have your notepad open. Take some notes.
Okay.
Hair is best handled with a mixture of products.
Okay.
If you can find, we have a lot of products. I'm not saying these are the best products in the world. I've been told they are, but there are other products out there. You don't have to buy our products, but whatever works. So,
yeah,
our Beauty Forever shampoo. You can get either the foaming shampoo or the regular shampoo.
Okay, I'm sorry. What's the name of it?
Well, it's our Beauty Forever shampoo. That's what it's called.
Forever.
Beauty Forever shampoo from our website.
Beauty Forever. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Then you can use peppermint oil, or if you're dealing with mites, maybe clove oil. A few drops of that.
Yeah, I use that.
What's that?
I use that. I use that and iodine.
Get some Super MSM gel. Super MSM gel from our store.
Okay.
And get some
gel.
And get some Claudia's Dream Cream.
Okay.
All right. Make up a mixture in your hand. Put in some shampoo, some Claudia's Dream Cream, some Super MSM gel, a few drops of clove oil or peppermint oil, and then massage it into your hair, into your scalp. Then put on a bathing cap to keep it wet.
Oh, okay. All right.
Sleep in it overnight.
Yes.
Okay, wash it out in the morning and repeat the process if you can 2 times during the day.
Yes, okay.
All right. Do this daily for a few days, and then you can maybe reduce to 2 times a day, 1 at night, 1 time during the day, then maybe just at night, and then maybe every other day. But even when you feel nothing, still do it.
And sometimes it can take a month or 2.
It can take a while, but so be persistent, be aggressive. That's the answer.
Okay, I got one more question. How do people eat when it looks like Morgellons worms is in all the meat and all the vegetables and all the fruits? Whether organic, non-organic, or MS?
For your vegetables, put water in your sink and get yourself an ozone generator. You can get them on eBay, and you put that in and bubble it for maybe 5 or 10 minutes, and that will destroy anything on your vegetables.
Really?
Really.
Oh, wow. This is great.
Okay. Any other questions?
Not for me, because from the diet y'all said, that's what I've been doing for quite a long time. The wild brown rice, it says non-GMO, but me and you both know different. And I do eat the scrambler eggs on a piece of bread if I need something during the day. But I've lost 40 pounds, but it wasn't because I wanted to or needed to.
Do you make your own bread?
No.
Okay. What kind of bread are you eating?
I usually eat rye bread, but then I was told that was bad, so I switched to wheat. They said that was bad, and then white's got sugar in it. So I don't know.
Chapter 5 has at least 2 recipes to make your own bread. It's real easy, real fast. You can make bread from millet. You can make it from rye. You can make it from spelt. You can mix the flours together and make a mixed and make your own bread. Real easy.
Amazing.
There's also a bakery. Do you remember the name of that bakery?
Yes, there are 2 online bakeries, actually.
Berlin?
One is the Berlin Bakery. Now, they make 3 different kinds of sourdough spelt bread, but only one of them is for stage 1, and you have to read ingredients. The one that we can eat only has spelt flour, salt, and water in it. And that's the Berlin Bakery. There's also a bakery called the Columbia County Bread and Granola Company. They're in Pennsylvania, and they make a wonderful spelt bread, and they also make these crackers called sprouted spelt crisps, which are spelt crackers, and they're delicious. And we can eat those on stage 1 also.
And there's also Rivita crackers.
Right. If you can, I couldn't find any where I lived, so I expanded my search. That's where I ended up with Columbia County spelt crisps and spelt matzah.
Great. Any other questions?
I have a question. I'm from New York.
Do y'all have gnat problems?
What?
Gnat and AT. Gnats are all in the house all the time. Is that a part of it?
Moths? M-O-T-H-S?
Gnats. G-N-A-T-S. I think it is. It can be.
Well, they usually come around fruit and drains. So if you have fruit sitting out, you probably want to eat it up. Well, actually, fruit's not on the diet, so there shouldn't be any fruit sitting out.
Right.
Yeah, really.
Lemons, that's it. But if you're living with other people, fruit extractor. But they love drains, so you want to disinfect your drains. Put some some ammonia down, or
Bleach,
baking soda or something to disinfect it.
Okay. Sounds good.
This is Rita from New York.
Yes.
Hi, Rita.
Hi. I
Okay.
want to ask you, how long do you have to take these baths with the Nature's Gift? Because I kind of get skeeved out because I always feel like I'm sitting in my own dirt. You know, I'll get up and shower, but I get I'm very uncomfortable.
The idea is to clean your skin. And the best way that I know, but people have used only showers, but the best way I know is to take a bath for 30 to 45 minutes with a capful of Nature's Gift debriding soap and a disinfectant. And yes, the debriding soap does bring the organisms out. If you're on the diet, the idea with the baths is you take as many as you need to, usually 3 a day, so you can get from one bath to the next with relatively little skin discomfort. And then we have the pen-size sprayer that you can fill with diluted Nature's Gift we call a body wipe. So you can apply that between baths, or you can apply any of our cream, soaps, or lotions between baths. But the idea is then to move to 2 baths a day. The idea is to get from one bath to the next with relatively little discomfort. And if you can do that with 1 bath a day, that's fantastic.
Richard, could you tell me exactly what they look like in the water?
Well, they don't look like anything in the water. They, if you're dealing with Morgellons, when you get out of the bath, you see a lot of debris around it, scummy hair, fibers, filaments, stuff like that. If you're dealing only with Columbella, you'll see nothing in the bath water.
What if you see something like they look like they don't have a color to them, but they look like snow, like I don't know, like dried skin almost, but it's not white. They're floating in the water, almost
that could be Columbola.
Columbella, I've never seen it in the water. I felt them biting, move from one location to another.
Like I'll brush my hair over the toilet and they'll be in the toilet.
Well, consider this: if you're dealing with Morgellons, your skin may be damaged a few layers deep. If you're dealing with Morgellons and you have organisms coming from your skin, it could be an infinite number of variety of these organisms, and you will see their carcasses in the bathtub as well as they're being brought out by the debriding soap. So what you see is specific to whatever organisms your Morgellons is breeding or has parasitized.
Well, what's the Embolia, whatever,
Columbella?
Columbella.
Columbia, whatever, however you
That's
pronounce it.
springtails.
Yeah, what are they? What do they look like?
Well, they're the size of a dust particle. They're impossible to see with a naked eye for the most part. I've seen one on the tip of my finger wiggling. They are rod-shaped. You can go to Google images of Columbella, and you'll see probably 100 different images. There are 6,000 species, so there are differences, but the basic bottom line is they're rod-shaped, and they bend in the middle, and they're called springtails because they can literally spring up as high as about 18 inches almost from the floor or from wherever they are. They are often on the floor. They can be in plants so they can be in the dirt that your plants grow in. They love moisture. They love leaky pipes. They love bathrooms with leaky areas and moisture. That's where they generally reside.
Thinking soil outside gardening or something.
They can be outside all around. I've had them all around my house, as I shared earlier. Sometimes I've had to wear riding boots outside to keep from getting infested.
Okay, because I've been told, like the woman before was talking about psychiatrists and do you see someone? I said, being sent to Mount Sinai in New York City, and they tell you I have ringworm that's crusted, and then the Candida yeast that was, I don't know which way to go. I'm like really freaking out. I'm like,
well, have you completed the question? Have you completed the questionnaire? There's a questionnaire. Did you get? How did you learn about this call? Was it through an email, or did somebody tell you about it?
No, my son.
All right. So you're not in the program then.
No, I'm reading the book. All I have here is I have the book, and he ordered me the book that he's bringing me tomorrow from the woman in Washington D.C. that won't see you for 6 weeks until, or what have you. And so that put the book on it.
Well, read the book. It's a resource in itself. It has stuff in it I don't even remember because it's a research project. It's probably the most informative information you will ever find on the planet about all these different kinds of skin parasites that we deal with. There is a questionnaire that you can email me, and my email is K as in kick. So write this down if you can.
Okay.
K as in kick, N as in Nancy, I as in ice, C as in Robin's cat, and the number 2, the number 2 at Verizon.net. K-N-I-C.
K-N-I-C. That's
2, number 2, at Verizon.net, not .com, .net, and just request a questionnaire.
Now, could you pick this stuff up in a hospital?
No, I picked it up in my backyard, pulling vines out of a tree from a bird nest that had a lot of debris that came down on me like a cloud.
All right, just curious because I didn't know what I had on my arm, my face, and then the surgeon cut it under my arm to see if I had lymphoma. This is how long I've been going through that, and that came back negative. But the
complete the questionnaire. I can address the skin parasites. I can address the skin parasites. As far as other issues, I can't. But oftentimes, people have been misdiagnosed. Many people have been misdiagnosed as having scabies or MRSA, and actually we're dealing with Morgellons. So send me the questionnaire.
I think it's Morgellons because that was negative. But once he did that, they were on my arm, the arm he cut into, under my. Then they went everywhere. They literally went through my whole entire body.
Yeah.
There is no test for Morgellons.
Literally no test. There's no examination, no testing, no biopsy that will prove that you have Morgellons. The only way.
Antifungal medication, all that stuff that they.
Well, complete the questionnaire.
Help.
You can ask me questions all day, but until you complete the questionnaire, then I'll have an idea where you are. Yeah. So that's the next step. Read the book, complete the questionnaire.
Website? Is that on your website?
We have a half a dozen websites. Debriding Soap, Debriding soap.com.
No, it's in the email. He gave
email
me to email him and ask for the questionnaire.
I have all the Get Your Life Back things that come with the book. And
if you go to the internet and search for Get Your Life Back, you'll find 50 different references for us, different websites.
You just send an email with questionnaire in the subject and ask Richard to send you the questionnaire.
Okay.
Okay, anyone else have a question or like to share?
Thank you for being so nice, you two.
Richard, I have a question.
Okay.
I have a question.
Bless you both, man.
Go ahead.
Okay, I have a question.
Who's this?
This is Rhoda. It's San Diego.
Okay.
Richard, on your agricultural products, would one of your NG soap products from agriculture be sprayed on, let's just say, RV vents to stop fungus or mold?
You mean spraying the plant shield for fungus and mold?
Yeah, there's a shield. There's a vent lid in an RV with a shield around it. And it gets
yes, our plant shield is effective with fungus and mold. What you could also do is add in apple cider vinegar or oregano oil to just make it even more powerful.
Okay. Is plant shield expensive?
I don't know what it's relatively around the same price as the debriding soap is.
Okay, would I be able to use debriding soap then?
Well, you could use the debriding soap and dilute it.
Okay, and how long would it work for? You just keep doing it every week? Or?
Well, generally, a couple times a season is all you need to do it. But you dilute it 1 to 64 or 1 to 128.
Which one is it?
You can start with 1 to 64, and then maybe the second time go to 1 to a dilution ratio 1 to 128. That's 1 ounce per gallon.
Oh, let me write that down. 1 ounce a gallon.
1 ounce a gallon, or 1 ounce per half gallon. Try those two.
Would that be simple? Okay, 1 ounce per gallon or half gallon.
And then for fungus or mold, you can add in maybe a cup of apple cider vinegar and make that your solution.
Okay, and then how much vinegar?
About a cup. I'm just guessing. Experiment. Keep a log, see what works best.
Be creative.
Does it have to be apple cider vinegar?
Yes.
It can't be just white distilled?
No, white distilled vinegar, no. It has to be apple cider vinegar. It's cheap. You can buy it in the grocery store for a couple of bucks.
It's good to know. Earlier Robin wanted to know, or you wanted to know what CV is cider vinegar.
Oh, it is cider vinegar?
Whenever they talk about apple cider vinegar in the health, vegans, vegetarians, you name it, they always, or even health nuts.
Okay. So in answer to the question, thank you for telling us that.
They call it ACV, and then you go, what is ACV?
Right. I have heard of ACV.
It's so popular, it's so common, and people rely on it so much. Listen, Richard, that sounds wonderful, and you say just one application should work with the Nature's Gift soap and vinegar.
Yeah, if you're dealing with fungus, you probably, if you can't spray it all while the leaves are wet, so because that's when the fungus grows, is when the leaves are wet.
Well, also, don't forget, Garden Safe Fungicide 3 is a fungicide, insecticide. It's organic for organic gardening, and it's 70% neem oil, and it's great for outside if you're talking about and it comes 2 ways. You can buy it concentrated with a purple cap and mix your own, or you can buy it where you attach it to a hose outside, so it's pre-mixed, and you just spray everything from the foundation up a foot on your house to the lawn and the driveway and everything. And
what is it called? What is it called?
Garden Safe fungicide and the number 3. And it's fairly inexpensive. They sell it at Home Depot and Walmart and Amazon. And I want to, so the question that we didn't answer earlier was, can cider vinegar kill columbola? And in my experience, it will kill fungus, but not springtails. It may make you less attractive to springtails if they are attracted to fungus, which is up for debate. But I don't know if you have a different answer to that, Richard.
Well, I suggest using it in your bath as a disinfectant because it does appear to kill it in the bath, columbola. At least that's been my experience.
And it definitely kills fungus in the bath too.
Yeah, so. definitely best for fungus. If you disinfectants, peppermint is great for columbola. Oregano, I guess almost any essential oil will be good. Lavender, depends on what your senses love.
Tea tree
oil.
Right. Okay, I have a couple of questions about disinfection and diet. What are your opinion on vacuum cleaners and any tips on how to store and clean them so they don't reinfect the house? Oh, God. And then there's also a question about Swiffers. But so I know, for me personally, I would get the kind of vacuum cleaner that has HEPA filters and that doesn't have bags, that you can totally wash with ammonia. But, you know, I stopped using vacuum cleaners in the midst of infestations because it's too easy for them to get infested and they're hard to clean. That's my take on vacuum cleaners, Richard. What do you think?
I tend to agree. If you did use a vacuum cleaner after you've used it, I would, have it vacuum up some diatomaceous earth to get the diatomaceous earth in there to kill anything that might be in the bag. But I think you're much better off, and it's kind of incongruous to spread diatomaceous earth and then use a vacuum cleaner. I had the dirtiest house, I just spread diatomaceous earth everywhere, floors, furniture, everything. I knew and felt I was protected. I didn't want to vacuum that stuff up. Just leave it there. So I think you're much better off with an air filter that with a HEPA filter and filter your air, get the stuff out of your air that might be floating.
Mm-hmm. That's a good answer. Also, about Swiffers, how do you store them and clean them? Do you use the same one on different days? So, yes, I use the same Swiffer over and over, and I use dry Swiffers. And sometimes I've found Clorox makes an actual disinfecting Swiffer. But I've found best results with dry Swiffers. I keep them in a Ziploc bag. I wash the Swiffer by spraying it with ammonia or a disinfectant after every use, and I just store it in my closet. When I do the floors, I do a series of different things. So, I'll spray with ammonia or another kind of disinfectant or an enzyme cleaner, and then I use clove oil and an organic pesticide that has clove oil, and I spray the floors and I dry Swiffer them every day, and then once a week I wash them with an enzyme cleaner. Like Richard's enzyme cleaner.
What's that disinfectant you wrote me about? Zep?
Oh, Zep Quick Clean kills 99.9% of bacteria, viruses, and funguses in 5 seconds. And it's killing everything in my home. It's really amazing. So I use it at 100% strength. I spray everything from the ceiling to the floor and everything in between. And I do it with the electrostatic sprayer. Some days I mix it with the enzyme cleaner. And then I Swiffer with the oil, with the organic. It's called Eco Raider. And I add extra clove oil to that. And the floors, because all my floors are wood or tile, and they look great. I mean, the oil feeds them, and it also kills things. And then I wash with the enzyme cleaner, and I rinse with water once a week, which draws things out because mites love wood. So, you know. But the good news is that everything I'm finding is dead right now, so that's really good. There's a lot of them, but they are dead.
if you're listening to Robin, she changes things up. She doesn't just use the same thing. She changes things up. And the Zep disinfectant, she noticed, Quick Clean, is probably a pretty good alternative if you're sensitive to ammonia. You consider ammonia is about $2.50 a gallon if you can find it, and this is about $8 a gallon that you can get at Home Depot. So if you're sensitive to ammonia, you may consider it. We're not guaranteeing that it's chemical free. It may have some chemicals in it. I didn't read the ingredient list, but it could be a definite alternative.
Right. And I do mix things up, and I'll go back to the thing I started with and then work my way back up because they build resistance. I mean, you know, just like viruses or bacteria can be resistant to antibiotics, parasites get resistant to whatever you're using. And so you take it to the next level, and I feel like unless, you know, if you just have simple Morgellons and they're responding great to ammonia, or I like this Zep stuff because it's an alternative to ammonia. It doesn't smell bad and it kills everything. And it's fairly inexpensive. But yeah, I think it's important to mix things up. And I have a question here that someone wanted to know what I would have done differently to not get reinfested from my Christmas ornaments.
Throw out your Christmas ornaments.
Well, yeah, that'll happen. But the thing is that I had been dealing with this for like 4 years, right? And back in the day. And so the first thing I did was put everything in Ziploc bags, and I thought it was like if you have lice, you leave it in a bag for 3 months and and everything's dead. So this stuff was in a bag for 3 years, but nothing was dead. But since then, I have learned a lot about exterminating and disinfecting, and I saved the Christmas ornaments that I really value because they have, you know, a lot of memories, and I put them in bags. I sealed them in airtight bags with Nuvon strips, which is a solid exterminator disinfectant thing. And, you know, but I'm not in a hurry to celebrate Christmas again in that way. So, but if I had known about how long it takes to kill these things, you know, it wouldn't have happened. But when I put them in bags, I was ignorant, and then I forgot about them, and never even occurred to me that anything would be living in those Ziploc bags. So that's my story.
Every time we have a change of seasons, which is coming up now, we're moving from autumn, we're going to be into winter, so that means you're going to be putting away the clothes you were wearing and take out your winter clothes. And whoa, did you disinfect them before you put them away?
Right.
So you may be doing wonderful right now. Feel better than you have in years. And take out a coat, a winter coat, and put it on, and in 5 minutes, all hell is back on your back.
Right.
Back to square one. And it is so discouraging. So discouraging. But it's a reality. So
but you know what to do.
You before you take your clothes out and switch from one, make sure they were disinfected. If you don't know, disinfect them. Send them to the laundry.
Dry clean.
Dry cleaning will get rid of anything. Put them in the washing machine. Clean them with the enzymes, ammonia. Treat them. Make sure that before you wear any clothes that's been in storage, that you know without a doubt that it's been disinfected.
Right. And if you can't, like all my this will probably be forever or nearly forever, but I have these big hanging clothes things that zip up and they're pretty airtight. And all of my big winter coats and stuff are in those with Nuvon strips, and they've been that way for months. So, same thing with blankets. You know, yeah. And if I take something out and I feel anything, I just throw it out. I'm not even going to waste my time at this point. I wanted to make one comment about how long you have to keep taking baths. And I do think baths work better than showers, although showers can work. But the thing is that you take baths until you don't have bites, you don't have lesions, you're not itchy all the time because you're taking the baths to go from one bath to the other with minimum amount of discomfort. And the more you do it and clean your environment and stay on the diet, the longer that period stretches to, and eventually you're taking 2 baths a day, and then you're taking 1 bath a day, and then you're just taking showers. And it doesn't, if you do everything, you know, it might take a month, it might take 3 months, but you get better. Just saying.
Anyone else have any questions or like to share?
I have a question for Robin again. This is Joe from Iowa.
Hi, Joe.
My question is, the Zeph Quick Clean and what other product were you using on the floors?
So I was using the Zep Quick Clean Disinfectant, which you can get at Home Depot, online or in the store. And I was mixing that with Richard's Enzyme Cleaner and using it in an electrostatic sprayer. And then I found this stuff called Eco Raider, which is an organic pesticide made of clove oil and a couple other kinds of oils. And I added like a bunch more clove oil to it because I'm dealing with resistant mites. And I spray that on the floors, and then I dry swiffer it every day.
And where did you get the Eco Raider from?
Amazon. But I'm sure there's other places. I just happened upon it and thought I'd give it a try, and I'm really happy with it because it's not ruining my wood floors, and it is in combination with the Zep Quick Clean. It's knocking down the amount of mites that are alive. The other thing that I'm doing, which, Richard, I mentioned to you last week, is finally I have a Rife machine, and you can do environmental hunt and kill with a Rife machine. You have to have samples that you catch, and you have to change the samples every 3 to 5 days, and it takes 1 to 2 months. But I finally got it right, and it's been about 3 weeks, and things are dying like crazy everywhere. So that's really cool. I'm very excited about that.
And I'm sorry, where did you get the Rife machine from?
Spooky 2 Rife. It's Spooky and the number 2. And they actually have a protocol for Morgellons, which I haven't done yet. I got the Rife machine and I used it to help get well from COVID. And then I got reinfested with COVID and just ran the Rife machine 24/7 with fingernails as DNA and got better. So now I've just been doing it environmentally in my home.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Anyone else have any questions or comments or like to share?
Lynn from California.
Yes, ma'am.
Please. I have a question. Can you mix clove, lavender, and peppermint all together? Does it matter?
Yes.
Of course, yes.
Okay, that's it. Bye-bye. Get someone else.
Richard, I have a question. This is Maria from San Antonio.
Yes.
I want to know if there is a parasite involvement with congestion. I have a lot of congestion in my sinuses, bubbly sort, mostly transparent, but sometimes slightly greenish. What would that be? It's been clinging on to me for months, and I'm reluctant to go to the doctor about it because the last time I went for something last year with sinuses, she just prescribed a big, strong antibiotic.
Medically, I don't know enough to answer your question. I can only speak from my own experience. And there was a time that I thought I was dying from lung cancer because every morning I was coughing my full head off and with a lot of phlegm and congestion. And when I increased my Garcillin, it seemed to have taken care of it. So it could be a sinus drip issue sometimes, causing issues of that nature. Perhaps, I don't know. That's the best that I can come up with. Robin, you have any?
Well, usually if it's green, it's an infection, and a doctor would say, he'd put you on antibiotics. But the other thing is that it could also be biofilm, because the parasites create this environment that they like, and it's biofilm, and it can exhibit that way. But again, we're not doctors.
Right. Well, I just wanted to know if it's possible to distinguish, is it parasites? It comes accompanied by or just simultaneously with gritty eye feelings too, and they happened about the same time. It started about 6 months ago. I've been trying to treat them both, especially the eyes.
Well, the eye treatment, we've gone through that before. People use Rufenol, colloidal silver, diluted Nature's Gift with, what is the eye solution? You don't use it with distilled water, you use it with the saline solution.
Saline solution.
There are a couple of medications that have been, I think one of them, or maybe both of them, are by prescription that have helped significantly. So have you been doing any of those things for your eyes?
No, I'm using alcohol around my eyes, but then now I can't get alcohol anymore. So I'm not sure what I'm going to turn to. I guess I'll go to the what you call it, your
Nature's Gift.
Yeah, Nature's Gift.
So when you use these things on your eyes, just be sure. In my experience, it would push the stuff out and into your face, and if you use something thick like Vaseline or some other really thick cream around your eyes, it will stop them from going further.
Yes, it traps them. I've been using mentholatum for that.
Right, just don't get that in your eyes. That will hurt.
Burn.
Yeah.
No.
If I may address the question of the sinus infection, I've had this problem for many, many years, and I finally found something that really works for me, and hopefully it would help the lady as well. It's called Agramax, Agrumax, which is a dietary supplement available, I believe it's either from Amazon or from citrussafe.com. And I mix this with warm water and saline solution in a sinusator, and I clean my sinus cavities that way, and it has helped me tremendously. And I recommend it highly.
Right, and again, you should send those things like that to Richard in an email, because we try not to bring things that we don't know about into the call, because we don't have any, confirmation. So
Yes,
please
I
email
understand.
Richard about stuff like that, and he'll look into it, and then he'll share it with everybody. So
Oh, it's
that would be
wonderful.
the best route to go.
Thank
Also, I
you.
have a question. Yeah, I forgot to ask how to do laundry with things that are septic safe, because she has septic tank issues with ammonia and bleach. And I would think, isn't your laundry enzyme cleaner septic safe?
Yeah, our enzymes are septic safe. Our laundry soap is septic safe. In terms of the antimicrobial would be septic safe.
What about borax?
Borax, I think, would be septic safe.
And the other thing is you could do an ammonia pre-soak without using the washer, where you just get a big plastic tub, put 2 inches of ammonia in the bottom, put your laundry in it, and cover it and leave it overnight. It will soak into the clothes, but it's not like pouring laundry into, not like pouring ammonia into your washing machine. So that might be a little bit better.
Yeah, you're still going to get the ammonia in there, and then you have to dispose of the ammonia that's left in the tub. So, I don't know. You can figure out a way.
You could dump it outside.
Yeah. Eventually
if
ammonia evaporates.
Right, that's true. And then in the dryer, if you can't use ammonia, I would think you could still use dryer sheets or a sock soaked in ammonia and dryer sheets soaked with peppermint oil, and they make a big difference. And in the dryer, you also want to clean the lint catcher and where the lint catcher goes with spraying with ammonia.
Well, she could actually use the ammonia because that's not going to get into the septic system.
Right.
That will disinfect and go, out into the atmosphere, and the ammonia will break down. So that would be the way. So you can use the laundry soap, the enzymes, borax, our laundry soap in the washer, and then in the dryer, use ammonia as your backup disinfectant with the laundry sheets. Good, we solved that problem. What's next?
Next.
I have a question.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Robin, I live in an RV with my husband, and it has the wood cupboard. And what would work to clean them that wouldn't harm the wood?
Can you repeat the question? There was a little bit of background noise. You live in an RV and
it has wood cupboards.
Wood cupboards. Everything in my house is wood.
Okay, what would help clean them without ruining the wood?
Do the cupboards have a finish on them?
It depends on the finish, yeah.
Yeah, I think they do.
My old wood floors, the ammonia destroyed them. My new wood floors, the ammonia doesn't affect them because it's a different urethane finish. So you have to test a certain area to see a small inconspicuous space to see if the ammonia affected it or if the ZEP cleaner affected it or whatever you're using has an effect on the finish. You have to test.
Right. And the thing is if it does have an effect, then clean it really well and get some polyurethane and refinish it. I refinished all the floors in my house by hand at one point. Yeah. So, and if it's, if it's an RV, the kitchen area is not that big. It's not that hard to refinish cupboards. It really isn't. They have liquid sandpaper you can buy. You brush it on, you let it dry, you wipe it off, clean it, and then you put on the new finish. And I would go with an oil-based finish because it will last longer and it would be more resistant to all the stuff you're going to spray at it.
I see. What could you do in the meantime? I got so sick with the mold.
I would use the Zep stuff. I would try the Zep stuff. It hasn't seemed to affect anything, but then I also use the clove oil mixture afterwards, and it like replenishes the wood. Like rubbing on. Yeah, I mean, you could get linseed oil, which is designed for wood, and add essential oils to it, like linseed oil with clove oil, peppermint oil, tea tree oil, bergamot oil, and then, after you spray it and let it sit for a minute, just wipe it down with the oil mixture, and it'll feed the wood.
That's a good idea.
Okay, and we have a cat. Would the cat be sensitive to clove oil?
Absolutely. You don't want to. I have a cat, and I've been swiffering my floors with this clove oil, which can be deadly to cats. But my cat is older, and he likes to sleep in one spot, and I go everywhere except where the cat is. And then when the cat is eating, I do the area that he hangs out in, and because it's dry swiffering, I'm spraying it, and then I'm literally wiping it back up and rubbing it into the wood, so it's not like it's going to get on his paws and he's going to lick it. But you want to be careful. You want to be careful. Clove, peppermint, cinnamon oil, all deadly to cats.
All right.
Any other questions, comments, shares?
I have a question about ammonia in the laundry.
Okay.
Yep.
I noticed that I discolor my laundry with it. What am I doing wrong?
You're pouring it on your colored clothing, so you'd want to pour it on a towel, or you put it in before you fill up the washing machine.
I put it in the tote and let it sit.
You mean the area where you add the bleach?
No,
she's
in
talking
tote.
about a container.
You put it in a tote?
Yes.
Oh. And then soak your laundry?
Yes.
Maybe put a towel, put it in the tote, and then put a towel to soak it up, and then put the laundry on top of the towel.
Okay. Great. I feel like I'm doing laundry for the first day. Everything comes out discolored, and my husband gets pretty frustrated.
Well, yeah, you don't want. I mean, what kills things is that the odor, the smell, is a neurotoxin. So, if there's, you want to saturate them with the smell, but you don't have to necessarily saturate them with the liquid.
Okay, great.
Anyone else like to share or ask a question? Well, looks like it's time for our drawing. Chris, do you have our winner?
Yes, Richard. The last four digits of the phone number is 3113.
Would you repeat that? There was some static.
3113.
Okay, if the last four digits of your phone number are 3113, you're the winner of this week's drawing for either $20 discount in the store or a signed copy of my book. I forgot to announce the winner of the doodle. Or Tamara is her name, and she named the doodle. What was it? I forget the name of the doodle. Ethel, are you on? Well, I named it. It's in the updates. So you got. We have two entries for the doodle. Tamara and is the person still on who won the today?
Yeah, I see them from Washington, VA, Virginia.
Okay. Washington, is that Joanne?
No, it's Washington, Virginia.
Oh, Virginia.
Oh, it's Beth. It's Beth from Virginia.
Okay, Beth, are you on?
I'm on.
You're the winner.
I'll take the
Nice.
$20 towards your wonderful product.
Okay, fantastic. All right, I want to thank everybody for participating today. Our coach for Buddy Coach is Barbara, wonderful lady from the Midwest. And her email her at Daisy, like the flower, Jane, like the lady's name, the number 28, Daisy Jane 28 at gmail.com. Daisy Jane 28 at gmail.com. Only list your first name, your phone number, and the area of the country you're living in. And if there's anyone in particular you'd like to connect, you can list that person's first name as well. She will send you a list of everybody who is looking for a buddy. You can go through and see who's close by, or if you know or have heard anyone on the call, and connect with them and create your buddy system. Definitely a good idea for anybody with spousal issues that we don't want this to be a crying soup kind of thing. Oh, my husband, he does this, we don't want to get into that. We want to look at creative solutions and to support each other in dealing with these kind of issues. So I thank Robin for being my co-host and coach. Thank Barbara for being my buddy coach, for being my greeting coach, Sandra for being another coach. Wish you all well and keep coming back. We're here to support you.
Can I give my phone numbers now?
Yes, Robin. So, have we stopped the recording? Have you stopped the recording, Chris?